How's it going, everyone? Mike the Warhost here, and today we'll be talking about the one posse people have been trying to cobble together for years now, how they work on the tabletop, and the best way to go from just a posse box to a full-size tournament list. Ever since the release of 2nd edition, people have been wanting to run a full Tombstone posse, but most of the models were hard to find for a long time. We got close with Virgil Earp's inclusion into the Meat Grinder posse, but a full Tombstone list has been difficult to pull off until the release of the Vengeance of the Earps. Now every lawman player worth their spurs will be itching to bring out the Earps in all of their glory. As a reference, we'll be using stat card version 3.04c for today's discussion. The bonus for this posse is pretty hefty in this edition, where you consider how metal works. Units in this posse get a +1 limit bonus when they are within 5 inches of another Tombstone unit. While not as impressive as the previous iteration that gave grit rerolls, it's still nothing to sneeze at. This discussion will be a bit different as there currently is no posse box available. This will be a cobbled together posse with models scattered throughout the range for the time being. We may see a Shield of Tombstone posse box in the future to make collecting easier, but for now we'll focus on the current existing models available for this list. Wyatt Earp will be your posse boss, and he is an absolute powerhouse on the field. He comes with backup pistol to give him the chance to take a second shot for free after hitting with a weapon with close work for only a -1 aim penalty, as well as bunker for a watered down version of hunkered after not moving, dead or alive to make his baton swings that much more powerful, durable to shrug off incoming fire more easily, parry for possible grit bonuses in melee, and Tin Man to bolster nearby lawmen units with additional fortune. Form Up on Me is less impactful in this list as there are no hands units available. Wyatt also has plenty of options when it comes to laying the hurt down on people. He has a Winchester carbine to reach out and touch people with his 18-inch range, as well as an iron ass baton to get up close and personal. He also has 2 weapons with close work to take advantage of backup pistol, one of which is his famous Magnum Peacemaker, packing a massive -4 piercing, as well as brutal, which means you can easily unload this bad boy into an unsuspecting target twice for a single action point, causing a max of 4 piercing -4 wounds thanks to brutal. The butt line special isn't as hard hitting, but has a bit longer range if your target is just out of Peacemaker range. Doc Holliday is still a fan favorite among lawmen, and for good reason. He's a bit fragile nowadays with only a grit of 4, but still packs one hell of a punch. Dead or Alive makes his iron-ass baton strikes more dangerous. Gambler makes him an effective way to get rid of low action point cards. Quick Draw lets him fire again for a single action point rather than the usual 2. Revolver Fan gives him an ROA boost at the expense of a -1 aim penalty and inability to focus. Showboating gives a bonus to aim, fight, and mind when within 5 inches of a human model, enemy or friendly. Split Shot lets Doc split his fire between multiple targets when needed, and Tin Man provides an extra point of fortune when within 7 inches of a friendly marshal or sheriff unit. Doc comes with a set of nickel-plated pistols with an ROA of 3 and lethal on a crit, as well as some razor-sharp cards with refined and fatal on a crit, and his trusty iron-ass baton. He also comes with a single point of fortune for himself for extra survivability, which is helpful considering his low grit. Both Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday were previously available in the Gunfight at Red Oak starter set. No word at the time of recording about future releases. Virgil Earp is the black sheep of the family after having certain dealings with the Enlightened in nearby Payson. As such, he is one of only 2 units in the posse with the Tainted trait. He's also a great source of long-range fire. He comes with Dead or Alive to beat people down with his iron-ass baton better, as well as Gun Down to ignore penalties for shooting at engaged units, and Headhunter to help generate fortune on his own. Tin Man is there as well for additional fortune should the need arise. As discussed before, Form Up on Me isn't relevant to this posse. Virgil comes with an impressive selection of weapons to choose from in a fight. His butt line special comes with close work and shred, as well as brutal on a crit and an impressive -2 piercing. His bionic arm has refined and brutal on a crit, and the baton has refined and stun on a crit. The big ticket though is the Hyper V rifle. This comes with shred and lethal on a crit, a -2 piercing, and an impressive 20-inch range. Virgil is the man you want up on the rooftops taking out enemies before they can get close enough to cause problems. You can find Virgil Earp in the Meat Grinder Posse box. While Morgan Earp is technically optional in this list, I don't know any good reason to leave him behind. While he's technically a boss, he comes with honor before ambition to swap out the boss trait and largesse for the face trait and teamwork. Like almost everyone else on this list, he comes with dead or alive to make melee attacks more dangerous. He also has durable to take incoming fire more easily, headhunter for additional fortune when killing a unique model, override automata to get more out of nearby lawbots or gun dogs, Tesla masterwork to ignore the effects of stun and disorder, and Tin Man for yet more fortune. His weapons aren't as impressive as his brothers though. His electric carbine has a -1 piercing and shock on a crit, and his galvanic discharge comes with special and brutal for regular hits, and shock on a crit. His bionic arm has brutal on a crit, and the baton is the same baton that everyone else has. Morgan's big draw is the 3 fortune he has for himself, as well as override automata, and of course the fact that he's an Earp. You can find Morgan Earp in the Armored Justice Posse box. The remaining Tombstone character available is Joey Manco, the other tainted unit in the Posse. On paper, Joey looks like an absolute nightmare to deal with, and I can assure you from personal experience, he is just that. Eye for the soft parts makes focused attacks with brutal deal 2 additional wounds instead of the usual 1. Durable reduces the piercing value of most incoming fire. Gun down lets Joey ignore the penalty for shooting at engaged models. Revolver fan gives an ROA boost at the cost of a -1 aim penalty and the inability to focus. And undercover lets Joey pop onto the board wherever he likes and forces enemy human models to pass a mind check before they can attack if he's far enough away. The worst part about dealing with Joey is the fact that he carries the same Magnum Peacemaker that Wyatt has, with the same -4 piercing. Though he doesn't have any rules like backup pistols or quick shot, Eye for the soft parts means he can deal 3 wounds to a target after popping out of nowhere. And an important note is that Joey does not have Tin Man at all, so there's no bonus to sticking him close to an Earp. He also does not have a baton with him, so no lethal attacks on stunned opponents. Joey is best used as a face killer. Pop up out of nowhere and lay down some nasty Peacemaker shots into an unsuspecting target. Joey Manco can be found in the Only God Forgives Posse box. We currently have 1 remaining slot for a Tombstone unit if desired. You can easily grab one of the Vengeance of the Earps units from that posse to fill this last spot, though it might not be the best use of points for Earps. Okay, now I hear you. Alright, I understand your confusion, but just follow me on this for a second. The last slot in the posse allows for a single unit that contains both the lawmen and automata traits. I think players would be better off leaving the remaining Earps out of this posse and instead stocking up on a full-size unit of UR30 lawbots. These guys will happily camp out on an objective without much of a fuss, and Morgan can easily use override automata to get some extra shots out of them if someone gets too close. They come with dead or alive for additional thwacking power, as well as durable and hardy to make dislodging them more costly. And a full unit of 6 lawbots can put out a dozen pistol shots with Morgan nearby to urge them on. Even with a piercing of 0 and aim of 5, that's a lot of bullets to dodge, and not everyone is going to be Neo. So now that we have a complete Shield of Tombstone list, how do we get to the 150 point mark? Our list is currently sitting pretty at 85 points, leaving a good amount left over. While you can easily grab almost any other lawman posse, we all know that's not going to happen. You can easily take the Vengeance of the Earps posse for some much needed mobility in this list, as well as the Shield of Tombstone posse is slow on the board. This, along with a pack of 3 gun dogs, will get you right up to 149 points, which is as close as you can get with these posses. The gun dogs can provide whatever additional fire support you need and will be more effective near Morgan and his override automata for more shots down range. Feel free to swap out the Gatling guns for rocket pods if you want an easier way to apply stun to enemy units. This list is perfect for anyone who wants to recreate the classic Wild West showdown so prevalent in film. You want to keep Wyatt and Doc close to one another, with Virgil on some elevation ASAP to take advantage of the free focus for shoot actions. Morgan will babysit the automata, while the mobile Earps will hang out on the flanks and provide backup when needed. If you opt to skimp on the automata in favor of Joey Manco, do your best to keep him in reserve as a Hail Mary play to keep important units safe during the fight. Well, that's going to do it for me today. Stay tuned for more Wild West Exodus not so near future. Maybe.